What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be back to work on my Mclaren 720s, and we have a lot of parts that actually came in over the past couple of days, and let me show you guys exactly what we have. So for starters, we did get our mirror finally in, and we also got some parts from the UK. These parts actually came from the UK from my good friend Hybrid Performance. I'll drop his Instagram down below. If you guys are looking for any supercar parts, they can get them here and they can get them quick. And that's pretty much the vent that goes on the driver's side. Mine was completely broken, and then this is the side vent. And it also does give you really good prices, because I called the local dealer here, and this piece right here was like $1,500. I got it from him for $400, and this thing also was pretty cheap from the guy over at UK. So if you need any parts, hit him up. And then also we have our mirror right here. I did go ahead and buy a damaged mirror, but I did it for a reason. Check this out. This was pretty much the only carbon fiber mirror on the eBay at the time. I got this thing for a pretty good deal, but it turns out it is a little bit broken right here, and this one has a camera, mine does not. So I hit up our local dealer, and then I got these little pieces right here. So pretty much this is going to replace the camera hole, and then this metal piece is broken also, and we're just gonna have to replace it just like that. And I got a super good deal on that. So that's pretty much all the parts that we need to get this car complete on the exterior of the car. And we did also get a door panel for the car, so the interior will be complete. And also, guys, we did finally get this car tuned by DME Tuning. We do have the package right here, and pretty much what DME Tuning is, they're a tuning company that all you have to do is either send your ECU, and they do a lot of tunes for a lot of other different cars. They can either remote tune your car, or in our case, we had to send our ECU to them. We shipped it out, they shipped it right back right as soon as they got it done, pretty quick. And we did go with the stage 1 tune on this Mclaren 720s. I didn't want to go with the stage 2 because I kind of want to keep it low as possible, because we did just do downpipes. I don't really want to be pushing too much horsepower. I don't really want to blow the car up. But let's go ahead and unbox this thing and get this ECU back on the car. And the cool thing on McLaren's is the ECU is simply right here, right behind the rear bumper, and it's super easy to replace. It's just 3 bolts. So let's go ahead and get this thing on. So there it is, guys. Our McLaren is officially tuned by DME Tuning. Super easy. It should add around 100 horsepower and about 70 pounds of torque. And that is going to be a lot for this car, because it already comes factory with 700 horsepower. So we should be around 800 horsepower. If you're ever looking to tune your car, make sure you hit up DME Tuning. They can do from pretty much all supercars. They also do Mercedes and BMW. But now what we need to do is put this wheel back on and get this thing off the lift. Alright, guys, so let's go ahead and do a little first test start with the new ECU on and see if the check engine light turns off. So there it is, guys, no check engine light on the dash. The only light we have right now is the fuel light, and with fuel prices so high, I don't think we'll be able to fill this thing up. And then we also have an airbag light right there, and then we have an issue. As soon as I start turning the steering wheel, the ESC light will turn on. As you can see, the ECS light turned on. So we're gonna actually take this thing down to Atlanta real quick. So we got the car all nice and loaded up, and we're actually gonna be taking this car down to a shop in Atlanta called Supercar Garage. I met a guy named Kevin, and he's a super cool guy, and he's actually gonna help me clear all the codes, bleed everything on the car. So let's go ahead and hit the road. we actually just made it down to Atlanta, and here's the guy that's gonna be fixing my 720S. And as you can see, he has a stunning MP12C, right?
This is an MP412C 2012. It's actually one of the very first cars that came to the U.S.
Nice model. It sounds really good too. I thought it had an aftermarket exhaust, but it turns out it's factory. So pretty much what we're gonna have to do is unload the 720S, and then we're gonna drive it to his shop because there's really no way to get the truck and trailer over there.
That's so cool.
No door handle. 1 year only.
So it's just a sensor?
It's a swipe sensor.
That's awesome.
It was too complicated for some people though, so Mclaren did away with it after 1 year.
That's
You nailed it. You nailed it. Oh, no, get that. Sorry. We're headed to a secret location. It's called Supercar Garage. No one knows where it's at. You've got to actually know somebody to get there. Today, Ben knows somebody.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we do need to eat also.
So we just made it down to Kevin's garage down here in Atlanta, and man, let me tell you, he has some pretty cool projects. So what's going on with this 600 LT?
Well, Ben, this car here is a customer's car, and he wanted to have a little bit more power than stock. So, you know, there's a recipe for that.
Yeah.
It's pure turbo 900s,
Wow.
1050X injectors, a little bit of methanol injection so we can bring the
That's
octane
awesome.
up. This car in current form is probably around 900 horsepower at the crank.
insane.
It's 800 at the tires, and you better hold on because when it goes, it blows your mind.
Man, it has an awesome wrap on it too.
We wrap the car also. So here at Supercar Garage, we wrap, we do LED lighting, we do all the customization that you would probably want to do to a car. We repair, maintain, modify, and of course, customize.
That's awesome.
The 600 LT is really interesting because the exhaust fires out of the top of the rear instead of out of the bumper or down low. This car does have downpipes, catless, so it's got a pretty nasty sound. The most impressive thing of the car though is when you're driving at night, you just see flames shooting out every time you shift. Sometimes you'll let off the gas and you'll get like a fireball just circling off of one of the exhausts and then it'll blow away. It's hard not to watch the road when you're driving.
Yeah, I
Just
watched a
around
lot
and
of
look
videos
back.
of them because I wanted to see how like the 720 would sound, and I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of videos of the 600 LT
Pretty fun.
spitting flames. So this one ready to go, yeah?
This one's ready to go. Back to the customer.
Sweet. That's good. Let's do a little bit more looking around the shop. He has a lot of cool stuff over here, especially like when I first came in, I seen like 4 transmissions from 720s to 570s.
Yeah, we like to keep extras, spares in stock. Not necessarily that McLarens have transmission problems, but we've got these ready to go.
How much does one usually go for?
eBay, you're probably at $10,000 on a used transmission in good condition. We got
That's
a
not
set.
too bad.
We got a set of downpipes over here. This is what downpipes look like for McLaren. If you want to go catless, if that's okay in your area.
That's pretty cool.
This is actually a pretty cool conversation piece. It's wall art at the moment, but it's a skid plate off the bottom of a Senna. So actually, this piece is in really good condition. The owner was quite particular and decided that after having an off-the-track excursion, he actually did a little scrape to it here. It's
Oh, wow.
wow. I mean, it's under the car. You would never see it, right? But it's only $20,000. So why not just replace it?
That's crazy.
And you got a Senna, that's pocket change.
Indeed.
So what's going on with this engine?
Well, this particular engine is actually, it's going to be a donor for parts because if you do push the engine too hard, especially if you do a cheap tune, usually cheap tuners are pushing the engine through just timing or extra boost. They're not really in control of the full ECU. And the problem with that is too much timing is just detrimental. You beat the bearings up, and too much boost lifts the head gaskets. This particular engine died. It broke 2 connecting rods.
That's crazy.
But it still has plenty of use. The heads are good, the intake's good, the wiring harness we've taken off is good. So there's a lot available. The turbos were good, so it's not totally garbage.
It looks a lot like Ben's motor.
This is the same as Ben's motor, except for his crank is stroked, which has a longer stroke, makes it a 4-liter. Ben's motor also has 2 fuel injectors per intake, where this has 1.
I did not know that.
And if
What did this come off of?
This came off of a MP412C. And so you can see what that looks like with the intake off. There's usually an oil filter here, oil cooler. You're going to spend $25,000 for a used 3.8 liter engine. You're going to spend 50 grand for a used 4-liter engine is what's in your car.
That's crazy.
50 grand for a used one?
Yeah, so don't hurt it. Don't break it. So it's time to have some fun with your car, Ben.
Yeah,
Let's bring it on in the shop and see what we can find out.
And see if we can scan everything. Hopefully we can get that thing done.
Today we're going to be using the Mclaren Diagnostic tool. This tool will allow us to basically see into the ECU, see what issues he has. I think Ben has a couple lights on, and we'll see what we can do to resolve all those today. Typically when you're working on the car, you want to do 2 things. You want to put the key in the front pocket. It's the best place for it. And you want to put the car into ignition mode number 5, which basically just means ignition's on. It's going to do an initial diagnostic of all the computers, and then we'll be able to determine why you have so many lights on the dash that are unhappy. See if we make them happy lights. We want to clear out everything, and it helps to clear everything and go drive the car.
And then see which ones come back.
Right. We don't have that opportunity right now because the car's not legally registered, ready to go. So. Yeah. We'll go to diagnostic codes. So the code that we really have is the steering angle sensors rotated beyond its limits. That's typically something that doesn't happen on its own, but since this car has been apart, right? Yeah. Right, Ben? This steering wheel may have rotated beyond its limits, and it could be a damage to the clock spring internally or just need to be recalibrated. We're going to clear the code. We're going to go back and see if we can recalibrate this and maybe make all that better.
Sweet.
So I cleared the code. It didn't pop back immediately. Let's go clear all your other codes also. I'm of the opinion that most of these codes in here are just all from the accident. Yeah. They're historical, so we're just going to wipe them all out. And our steering angle sensor. Nothing else popped up on the steering angle sensor yet. So let's restart the car. We'll shut it off. We will restart the car and see if we can turn the steering wheel lock to lock and see if it's happy.
Sweet.
Mark, can you zoom in down here? So Ben, tell me again why this is just dangling right here for us to hook up the OBD2 connector.
I completely forgot to put on the undercover.
This is not normal.
This isn't your average McLaren.
Hey, who knows? They fall apart from the factory.
Oh goodness. So we're gonna go full lock to lock. Came on. Yeah, so basically this is the problem. We've now got the traction control, ESP warning lights back on, and all these other lights have come on. It's angry at us. We need to check and see if your clock spring's broken. Have you had the steering wheel off?
No.
No? Okay.
Never. I've had the airbag off. That's about it.
Hey!
So we use at our shop, Milwaukee. The best.
So here's what we determined. We've determined the computer is telling us that the clock spring, which is this guy right here, Mark, if you want to take it. This turns as the steering wheel turns, and it carries the information to the horn and other things. We're going to rotate this 360 degrees. Very easy to get wrong. And then we're going to reset the computer and see if we solve the problem.
Sweet. What do you mean? Yeah.
You were one full rotation out.
Okay.
When you had all the car apart and everything. So we're going to put the steering wheel back on. We're going to try it again. I think we should just solve the problem.
Sweet.
That'll be $1 million.
You got Bitcoin?
Cheap for Mclaren. Yeah, Bitcoin. Here, take the Bitcoin today. It'll be worth that tomorrow. I like it. Sweet. So we've just reset the clock spring. We're going to go full lock to lock again and see if we get our code. Hey! No code.
That's awesome.
Nice job, Ben. We're about to do an air brake calibration, which is basically we're going to see the air brake go through its full range of motions.
Is there a way we can check the fluid first though?
It's going to let us know if we're low on fluid. I could really get used to this. I mean, this is pretty nice, Ben.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Going up?
Yep.
We fixed it when we fixed the steering angle sensor.
That's what it was. Heck yeah.
So we fixed the front lift as well. I can't take any credit. The truth is, it was probably the steering angle sensor. As soon as we got the steering angle sensor sorted out, the car was happy and it allowed the lift to work. It worked the whole time. We're 3 for 3.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
There's no codes except the airbag, which we know why that's.
Which we know what's up. Yep. Man.
I think that's everything.
That's awesome.
We're
You're
feeling
the man,
good.
Kevin.
All right. Okay, so we've realized the last thing here, since this car's been all apart, the battery's been disconnected, we really want to do a transmission calibration. This is a dual clutch transmission, which means the computer uses actuators to engage the clutch instead of you using a third clutch pedal. So we need to let the computer calibrate the clutch engagement so it knows exactly where the set point is, and that'll make the car shift and accelerate quicker and more smoothly.
So guys, we finally finished up. Kevin over here did an amazing job. He pretty much cleared all the codes, and it wasn't really too complicated, was it? We just had a couple of codes. We did a lot of calibration sequences with like the air brake, but he got all the codes off, pretty much fixed the ECS issue, and then he did all the other calibrations.
Well, the good news, Ben, is you really didn't break anything.
Yeah.
I think really things just need to be recalibrated, reset, or realigned or configured after the car's been apart for so long.
Every piece was taken off.
Yeah.
Basically the shell, and now it's 99% done.
We started with the steering angle sensor, which you did have that full one full rotation
I
off.
farther.
One full rotation off, nothing was broken. When we fixed that, it actually fixed the front end lift, and then the lift started working automatically, which was fantastic. As a precaution, we went ahead and recalibrated the clutch engagement set point. We did air brake cleaning and calibration. Gosh, I think we did a couple other things, but all in all, it was just very routine, very easy. You've done a magnificent job with the car. I'm just blown away with where you're at right now.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, guys, Kevin does work on supercars pretty much everywhere in the world. Like, he'll fly pretty much to you. He can come over there and work on your car if you need him to, and he's really good at it. He fixed my car with ease.
Yeah, so it's Supercar Garage. We're right here north of Atlanta, Georgia. You can find us also online. Mcmedics.com is the website if you want us to travel and come work on your car.
And we will also, I'll go ahead and put all the links down below, so if you're having trouble with your supercar, Kevin's your guy.
Also, it's really good to know that because we have a physical location here in Atlanta, Georgia, Supercar Garage, that's where we're standing today, you can ship your car to us. This particular 570S was shipped from Nebraska. We were able to service it up, get it fully running the way the customer wanted it, and we can do the same thing for your McLaren.
So there it is, guys. All the codes are cleared on the McLaren. And big shout out to Kevin over here at Supercar Garage. He did a fantastic job. Now let's get this car back on the trailer. it is, guys. We finally got the McLaren driving. It's been a long journey just to get to this point, and it's still not 100% there. We are still waiting on the window seal, or it's actually the mirror seal. I completely forgot to order it. I thought I did, but we got that on order. So in the next video, we'll go ahead and put all that stuff on. And we didn't put these trim on yet, right here on the side, because I really wanted to just, every time we drove it, just inspect everything, make sure nothing's leaking, because we do have 2 radiators right here. And some of these cars actually catch on fire from the factory, so we do have a giant fire extinguisher in there just in case. You know, you never know what can happen. But the car drives super good. There's no lights on the dash except for that airbag light, and that is for that knee airbag. But we got that thing ordered up and it should be here pretty soon. But man, this car is absolutely insane, and this car sounds super awesome with the Zen Rage exhaust. We had the full exhaust all the way back, so that means the catless downpipes and the exhaust section. Man, this thing is just an absolute monster. It's a very fun car to drive, and now that we got this thing tuned with the 820 horsepower versus the 720, is just an absolute monster on the roads. So guys, that's pretty much gonna be a wrap for today's video. Don't worry guys, in the next episode we'll finally button everything up. The car will be done 100%. We just still want to do more test driving while all that trim is off, make sure everything is running on the car. But in the next episode we will go ahead and put everything on it, and that's probably gonna be it. We're gonna wrap up this build. This was a really long build. It just took forever, just waiting on parts, just learning how to work on a supercar. As you guys remember, we pretty much had every piece on this car disassembled, and look at it, it's pretty much all back together. But that's gonna be a wrap. If you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, follow us on Instagram at vTuned. Thanks for watching.